in the comments and I will try and answer them. You can also buy, so these were like, is it perfect bound? Like bound sketchbooks. And these, you can also get them on spiral binding. And a lot of people don't like spiral bound, but the main advantage of spiral bound is that they are a lot cheaper. I guess it's maybe easier to make them because there's less work involved, like manual, actual work by a human. This might be like done by a machine, I guess, I don't know. But you can also buy spiral bound. This particular one by Winsor and Newton has pages that you can tear out, which is quite useful. But what I sometimes like to do, like with this sketchbook, I literally just took it apart and I scanned the pages in and I can put them back on, but I haven't finished scanning yet. And that means that you don't have to tear pages out or flatten them awkwardly in your scanner. There's so many sketchbooks here. I'm going to make some space. That's better. It's still a bit hard. Yeah, so you can undo the whole sketchbook and then you can put it back together and you can scan them much easier this way. It's a bit messy, but I think it's a lot better than, yeah. And this one's Visual Journal by Strathmore, and it's got, some people say it's a really weird paper, and I can't remember what it's made of because it doesn't really say. It's like this weird cellulose stock, I think. If you know, let me know, because, oh, maybe this one says. No, it doesn't. Anyway, this isn't a sketchbook. Like, yeah, we're not talking about sketchbooks specifically. Can you feel my excitement? I'm just so happy for reaching 200 days and also to share this with you, so bear with me, we'll get there. But yes, I really like it. Some people don't particularly like it, especially because I think the two sides of the paper are slightly different, and I think I'm going backwards. And it just is great for watercolors, in my opinion. Oh yeah, sometimes I paint upside down on these because it's easier because of the spiral binding, so your hand doesn't catch on the binding, I guess. And yeah, I've done some swatching in it, so you can see how inks handle, and so on and so on. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's just so many. I will mention brands as I go, but let's go to the next point. And the next point would be swatching. If you don't know what to draw, swatch. Swatching is a great method of finding out what you like, finding out how a given medium looks on a certain type of paper, whether you like to use it, how you apply it, so like whether it is with a brush or a nib or any other way. You can play with a lot of tools. You can even use things like, I don't have it to hand, but you can use like cotton buds, you can use sticks. You don't necessarily have to go like traditional with how you apply your medium. Swatches are great, and I'm just trying to find, so this is sort of a swatch page. I didn't know what to draw, and I just painted these clouds. This is a single paint. It's a super granulating paint by, I believe it's Minik paint, and I just really enjoyed this. And even though it's not the best page, I remember that it got me through, you know. There was some, yeah, other stuff following, but a lot of the beginning of the sketchbook is just swatches, and I try to pick my favorite colors and just like see what I had so that I could pick my mediums better. It's just really nice, and it can be quite relaxing. So yeah, I recommend it. I probably have more swatches in the sketchbook and some others. There you go, a swatch page that doesn't really have that much. I was testing, so I learned that you can use a wax or like a pastel on a page and then paint on top of it, and it will show through. And it's a much better technique than trying to draw on top of the paint, which is here. You can't even tell. Well, I can barely tell So yeah, swatching is a great thing to do in your sketchbooks or on paper, however you prefer to work. Okay. Drawing sessions. The next point would be drawing sessions, and if you've seen any of my sketchbook tours, you'll see quite a lot of drawing sessions, and I just love them. There's just a few that I can think of at the top of my head. Art Hang Party, which is a session with Melissa Martin on YouTube, and you can just draw them. So this one I joined at midnight to 2 a.m. and we were drawing people in motion and really quick. And the really quick drawings, so that's like 2 points in one. I'll tell you the second tip now, is drawing quick. Drawing quick taught me a lot, and because I have so many sketchbooks right now, I haven't prepared this, but I've drawn a similar session a few months before that, in March, and it was way less confident. And this was like a month after, maybe it was January, but it was like between 1 and 3 months later, I was a lot more confident. They're not like anatomically correct, but they are certainly, oops, sorry for swears, they are certainly very confident, and I did feel confident, and I really enjoyed it. And putting those faces on sometimes can save a drawing for me. They're awesome, and I don't care like whether people think it's good or not. I enjoyed it, and that's what sketchbooks are for, basically for you to enjoy and to learn and improve. And those were my most important drawings probably in the last few years. So yeah, there were lots of them. And drawing from life or drawing on a video call sort of from life. Drawing is Free is a session where you draw people on a video call where so it's organized by Chloe, and she would put a song on and she would ask a person to pose for the duration of that song, and everyone draws them. And it's great fun. It's very challenging to start with, but the more you draw, the more sessions you join, the better you become. And yeah, it's just, free reference material for you for drawing from life. And it's really helped me grow my skills. Drawing self-portraits, this isn't very like me, but you can take a picture of yourself and draw yourself, which is cool. Drawing upside down is great, especially for things that are very daunting and difficult. So I drew the references were upside down, and I was drawing them upside down. And they actually turned out like people, potentially better anatomy than I normally do. So yeah, it's just a good tip. And I recently heard about people drawing horses upside down, and I think it's genius because horses and bicycles are notoriously feared by all the artists. Maybe not all, but most artists. And yeah, it's just, drawing sessions are great. There are also sessions from The Odd Orange. There are Sophie McPike's sessions, Katie Moody's, Monkey Mintakas. There are just so many that I can't name them all. Do check them out. And if you check out more of my sketchbook tours, you will find references to multiple different sessions. So if you're interested in that, check out a few of my sketchbook tours, because I usually mention these, and I will link a couple in my in the description below. Just take a short break for a drink. Okay, what else is there? I'm definitely not going to go through all my tips because there's just not enough time. Talked about this one. So yeah, some people were asking me, how do I make sure that I actually make the time? And the answer is, I don't have much of a social life. That's true. Sad? Is it sad? I don't know. I'm quite happy with that. So I found a time during the day that works for me. So for me, it's evenings and quite late in the evenings, because that's when I feel the most creative, and that's when I sit down and draw. And sometimes it's really hard to start, but as you could see, sometimes it's all about just just starting and, I don't know, making a swatch page, making an ugly page. I'll show you a few. This sketchbook is one of my newest, and it has quite a lot of art that I don't particularly think it's very good, but it's a sketchbook. It's not meant to be beautiful. It's meant to teach you something. So you can see like a variety. This, I don't even know what this is, and it doesn't really matter. I just moved on to the next page after that. Yeah, blah day. Just didn't know how to draw that day. And I tried drawing from life. So this one was a warm-up. Not meant to look like the person. I was just really, really self-conscious, like not sure about how to draw people from life. And then I drew this person. Yeah, switching up mediums, trying different things, trying different color combinations, all of that really, really helps. This one's a session from Sophie McPike, where we drew mythical creatures, and I really, really liked her idea of using rainbow pencils or magic pencils. I just used a very generic one, super cheap ones, and highlighters. And I think the highlighters, I just love looking at these pages because they just really lift it up and they make everything look really happy. Also look at this guy. What was I saying? I've completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, just starting something. Also, I find switching between my sketchbooks. So one day I'll feel like drawing in this one. Another day I'll feel like drawing orange sketchbook that's, you know, hand-bound by Morgan, and it's got a really nice, like, and sometimes I make pages, but other times, like here, I drew this, I painted this, testing my new materials.